Raise the Roof Production.
Well, you'll never know the heartache of looking a grown man in the eye, and he asks, am I gonna make it? And you've gotta lie. Well, they call me Doc, but I ain't got no degree. When shit hits the fan, they're calling for me. From bluegrass Kentucky, with red blood on my hands, nobody calls me hero except for my friends. Yeah, they call me Doc.
Hello, brothers and sisters and American patriots. Welcome to another episode of Sick Call with Doc. I'm your host, Rod Doc Walbeck, an SH Navy veteran. And man, I'm telling you, first of all, thanks for being here and spending some time with us. We think it's a worthy cause, and so we appreciate you guys for all the likes and the shares and the loves and showing up for us. We couldn't ask for more, and I just want to say thank you for that. Man, it's been crazy. Like today is what, September 9th, September 10th. Tomorrow's 9/11. Big changes with Sick Call with Doc coming. Big changes in my life. We're talking 15 days of sobriety. We're talking be my 9th day doing my new something from my heart. When I wasn't a corpsman on my ship, and I just wanted to be one. I used to see Doc in charge of the guys on the ship who needed to fit their uniforms better. We had a name for that program. And so the corpsman was responsible for the health and well-being of everybody on that ship. And there was no docs, there was no doctors, it was Doc for 300 and some guys. So he would have to do a calisthenics program with the guys that needed to lose some weight. And he was always inspirational, always motivational, always in about the health of things and being healthy in your life and stuff. And it just made an impression on me. And so I figured, you know what? I talk with a lot of veterans like this with the squares. And I see a lot of veterans who could use some inspiration and get out there and do some stuff. So to be more physical and be more up and more in the moment. So we got a little video of what I'm doing. It is called 2.2 for 22. I'm doing 2.2 miles a day for 22 straight days. I'm challenging all my veteran brothers and sisters to get out there, do 2.2, do 1.1, do 0.55 if you need to work your way up. And get up, and get some air in your lungs, and get healthy and get feeling good. So 9/11 tomorrow is the official start date. So we're already, by the time you see this, guys, it'll be past. So I'm hoping some people will join me and get this rolling. I'm going to do it every month, except for the tough months of winter here in Michigan. So we got a little clip, 2.2 for 22, Doc's Dog Challenge. Please get involved and let's support our brothers and sisters. We got a little video of what's going on. Go ahead. Thanks, bro. Hey, y'all, Doc here. Doing my 2.2 for 22 Doc's Dogs Challenge. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's coming in today to see us? Who's coming in to show some love for Doc and Doc's dogs? We're going to stop veteran suicides. I'm not stopping until the day I'm dead or it stops. One of the two. We're going to stop this suicide. Every veteran deserves respect and dignity and to live a life they've dreamed about. Every veteran deserves that. They signed the line, they did the work, they did what they were told. They come home, they got nothing. No support. Family don't understand them. They go get a job, they're working with 20-year-old kids who ain't hardly brushed their teeth yet in life. They can't relate to nobody. They go to the VA to get a bunch of pills. That don't work. Because one pill begets another pill. Before you know it, they're on 100 pills. All that does is kill people. Ashley, how you doing, baby? I'm gonna bring you in. Well, that inspired me, for God's sakes. So yeah, man, come join me, man. Make a sign. Put anything on you want. I've got 5 or 6 we're making over here. Spread the word. I got some cool stuff coming up to expand on the 2.2 a day for 22 days every single month. So please come join us. I'm not going to let our guests today go any longer without being on here with us. This man was referred to me from another veteran. Said, "Hey, I know a guy great for your show, bro," and that's how this whole thing started. We're talking a United States Navy sailor. We're talking an ice seaman. They do some combat stuff on the ships, keep us safe. He's part of the E4 Mafia. He's such an uplifting, motivating guy. But if you knew where he was at and where he's at today, that should inspire you. If you're in a bad spot, watch this. There's hope. Just got to get up, man, and go fight for yourself. You got to go fight for yourself. So, no further ado, please welcome to the show, IC3 Matty Gattenbein. Brother.
How you doing, Doc?
Is it Bean or Bine? Bine?
Fine.
I knew I was wrong.
Oh, bro, brother. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know how many times that's been slaughtered in my life?
Yeah, well, you were in E3. I was in you were in E4, I was in E5, so get over it. No, I'm kidding, man.
You know what the fun part about that is? Yeah. I had an issue with that back then, too.
That hurts your feelings. I don't know what to do to help you, man. And
shit happens.
When we talked, it was such a joy. It was joyous for me to see the things you've been through in your life and where you're at today and the things you're involved with. Today is your day. Floor is open. We do not cut. We do not edit. So whatever you say today, brother, it is out there for infinity and beyond. All right. Such a motivational and inspiring story, man. Tell us where you would like to start. If you start where you want, finish where you want. It's your day. It's your floor.
First, I got to start with thanking you for having me on. I don't know where you got that song wrote, but my first wife was a medic. She said she was a combat medic. She didn't see combat, but she would train with them. So I heard a few people that knew her that called her Doc. I also went to group PTSD therapy with a World War II vet, a Vietnam veteran who wrote his final words here on my kind of memorial tattoo because freedom isn't free, who meant the world to me, and an Army combat vet who she's a doc. And after sitting with her after my second divorce at a very, very bad place in my life, I always had respect for docs. I knew them. I've been to sick call a lot, man. I got issues everywhere, but I hold a big respect for docs, combat docs.
I used to too before I became one and hung out with them.
Yeah. So your song whoops my ass, bro. I love that opening song, man. That fits perfect.
After the show, I'll tell you where I found it and how that all came about. A Navy corpsman wrote it. A Navy corpsman wrote that song.
I can see that fully, man, because there's fucking heart in that
total
song.
Truth. There's total truth in that song. I get goosebumps every time. It's probably got like Aaron Lewis bought the rights to that song.
Really?
and it's allowed to be used, so it's okay and do that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
He bought the rights to that song, and he sings it. He sings it on tour. That's crazy, dude.
Fucking wild. That's where I heard it. I saw him. I saw his arrogant ass down at the Rhythm Casino in Davenport, Iowa. And it's after I seen his clip from years ago where he's talking on stage. Big shit, Mr. Country guy now. He's talking shit on
does
stage.
have an attitude.
I'm never gonna be the guy that comes out and just does nothing but sing and doesn't talk or entertain to the crowd. And that's all that son of a bitch did. He come out there and stood in this casino and chain smoked cigarettes by himself with his guitar and didn't say a goddamn word. I'm trying to get this stupid AI to stop changing on me. So he didn't say a damn word and just played one song after another. And I was super disappointed. But that's where I heard that song at, man, before I saw it on your show. I thought that fucking thing sounded familiar.
Yeah, my roommate from back in the day, he hit me up.
Yeah.
We stay in touch once a year or whatever. He hit me up. He goes, Rod, you got to hear this song. It's got 3 million views on the original guys that did it. I'm a million of those 3 million hits.
That's very cool. Well, I love it, man. I appreciate what you do.
I drank a lot of beer and cried a lot of tears to that song.
I bet. Holy shit.
So I'm so blessed to be able to share
that. And I want to thank Brandon for recommending me to your show, for kind of finding me and seeing what I've been trying to do or struggling to do with my thing. And we'll get into that in a little bit too, because like I said earlier, ever adapting. If you're not changing with the times, you're going to get left behind the times. And it took a lot of, I learned the hard way the third time every time. So the smoke out part was kicking my ass on social media. This little bitty symbol TikTok hates. And then this word right here, which is National Suicide Awareness Day or World Suicide. So thank you also for everything you do for that. The 2.2 a day that starts tomorrow. But that word alone will get you pushed down on the algorithm. So I'm trying to figure out how to change all that shit with running a household and trying to rehab a house and trying to stay at work and not hate people and teach my community about the plant that you and I have such an amazing love for. That's done so much for both of us. But to get into who I am and where I've come from, I'm a 9-year Navy veteran. Those are the 2 ships that I served on. The USS Independence. I didn't even fucking realize that. That's amazing.
What?
So on my little travels last week, I went and hung out last week with two of my sea daddies. No shame, bro. I ain't gonna give 2 fucks, 2 dams, 2 craps, whatever. 2 of my sea daddies, man, and they were with me on the Independence on my first tour. They were on the Tiger cruise that my dad got to go on from Hong Kong to Japan. They showed my dad around the ship, the world, literally showed me life as a new sailor, what it was like to be the FNG. But I've got to sit with those boys for the last 5 days and teach them how I consume and what consuming could do for them with their anxiety, with their pain, with their headaches. And in the state of Maine, that just has an amazing medical program that is like, I fell in love with this tiny little shop that I visited. That's just so holistic. They had 1,000 different tinctures and some of the best smelling Jack Herrera that I've ever had in my life. But I got to hang out with 2 guys from that ship that were there with me in the day in 1990. Well, I probably got there in 92. I went to boot camp in 91 in San Diego. Then I went to A school after that for seaman. Went to jail in Tijuana and then got sent to the Persian Gulf.
Who hasn't?
Standard shit, right?
Who hasn't?
Back to the irony of the 2 ships behind me. While I was up there in Maine, we got drunk and branded myself a little CV62. We were walking around Portland, Maine. And you got it was well, they were getting ready to close. They were closing in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We walked up into this tattoo parlor. We're like, hey man, we need 3 drunk sailor tattoos quick. You guys want to stay open?
Wait a minute. You guys got matching tats or different ones?
In different spots, but the same tattoo. Yeah, I don't give 2 shits, bro.
Oh,
I'm
for
gonna
God's
get
sakes, fucking.
the next time when I see a buddy from the Shiloh, I'm gonna get the other one over here. Over here.
We got matching tats. I'm just busting your balls, man.
I got a tattoo in Hong Kong with a buddy off the Shiloh that I still to this day have no idea what it says.
The truth of the matter about shipmates, man, you get to know each other, bro.
Oh
And,
yeah, huge.
You rely on each other. It happens all over the services. I mean, but onboard ship when you're floating out there and there's no land forever, and it's just you and these guys. And the only way to get home is to work together and get home. It builds quite a bond. So I was just messing with you, man.
No, you're cool, bro. I don't give 2 shits, man. I got even dumber tattoos than that.
Yeah. You know how many corpsmen have this one on? Every single corpsman.
All of you. Just all of you that aren't afraid of the needles you stick other people with.
Yeah, Dr. Feel Good. Remember?
Oh God. Yeah. I think I saw that tour.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first out of town concert with my first car, a 1980 Pontiac Sunbird.
Yeah. I'm glad you got time to be with your guys.
So that was pretty eye-opening, enlightening, a lot of fun, man. 31 years I haven't seen Steve.
Wow.
And it was like night and day, from the minute he picked us up at the airport to just hanging out and literally doing really nothing, but enjoying each other's company, having some good food, good drinks, and a hell of a lot of laughs. So yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
That's also great medicine, man. That's also great medicine.
It was soul healing for all 3 of us. Like Steve's going through some personal shit in his home and his home life. Stu is adapting to new retirement, and he's focusing on towards healing. The guy has daily migraines that he's dealt with after sitting inside the forward IC shop with nothing but power generating fucking who knows what kind of EMF things were around us. And then we sleep behind some of these phone banks and power banks and cableways. And man, I got videotape from me and my dad, or I got videotape on my own of being up on top of the bridge, watching the planes on the flight deck. And I'm videotaping with an old VHS camera. And like every 30 seconds, the whole camera just goes and frizzes out because of the radars that are around us, just zapping the shit out of us. So those guys are trying to learn from their ailments. And it was great to be able to meet with them again, not only just hang out and see some old friends, but drop the knowledge on them that I have firsthand. After being in the cannabis world for so long, not only as a consumer myself, but I've been in the recreational medicinal side of the cannabis industry in Illinois since it came to my hometown, actually in my own damn neighborhood. So to be able to go help a couple of shipmates was super beneficial. And then actually while I was up there, the second ship that I was on was the CG-67, the USS Shiloh out of San Diego. So I did 2 years in Japan. I met up with the aircraft carrier in the Gulf. We went back home, fixed a bunch of shit, went back over, came back, and then went to finish my 3 years stateside. My next 3 years is sea duty, but I only had like a year or so left. And I met my first wife, got married, extended, had a couple of kids, was on the USS Shiloh, got off of there, and then did my 3 years of shore duty in San Diego at ship repair facility, fixing other people's broken shit. And then did a couple of TDU or TDI. Well, I don't know what the hell it was called. TAD. I did a little bit. Duty? Yeah, I did a little bit with the base police and thought I was going to try to stay in to be a drug dog handler, ironically, but
that's pretty cool.
couldn't get to school, and
The dog's
they were
always barking at you all the time.
it would have been funny, right? I mean, like, no weed. I was clean the whole time I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And while I was on shore duty, well, not one of the last places I lived with my first wife, one of the last places I lived in San Diego, the people that lived across the complex from us in the townhouse complex were growing in their backyard, and they fucking smoked all the time. But they always kept it away from me, knowing I was active duty. And I always appreciated that, because the manager of the place, even her husband smoked, and like they were always super respectful of me, of it. But the minute I got out, the first job I was working at, I went right back to smoking after the stress of life. And too many years of borderline alcoholism in the Navy and outside of the Navy. More so, I noticed over the years, since now that I'm 52, my alcoholism is kind of selective. It was kind of like my cigarette smoking. My dad kind of ingrained it in me early. My habits without even showing me. My dad smoked cigarettes at work all the time, but he would never smoke cigarettes at home because my mom thought he quit. Well, didn't bug him about not smoking at work. So he would just not smoke at home. And I don't know how he did it or how he controlled it. And they were never drink at home people either. But when they would go out on the river on the weekends when I was a kid, or when they would go out to the bars, which wasn't a lot as I got older, but their habits kind of ingrained in me. During my first marriage, I didn't have much of a problem with alcohol unless we went out drinking or went out. I never drank at home. I would always hide my cannabis from her, because my first wife would never appreciate it or understand it, even though that's probably what kept us from having domestic disputes. But after that, I found out that as soon as I got divorced and as soon as I was single, it was 5-6 nights back in the bars, just like I was in active duty days. You know, you would in the port, you go to the bar. You pull back into home port, and I wasn't married, I'd be at the bar every night, because what the fuck do you do? But the hometown that I am close to, Dubuque, Iowa, it's one of the absolute highest populations of bars per capita in the absolute nation.
It's like a long approach.
Yeah, it's just insane. And I used to drive 25 minutes across one town to get back to my town after spending 5-6 hours at the bars over there. And so I had early on, I noticed in my VA record, when I went back to the VA for full-time coverage, when Obamacare kind of kicked in, you get penalties for shit. I went back to him and said, I know you have to take care of me because I'm a veteran and I was in, even though I'm not disably rated or anything, you guys still have to take care of me. So here I am, but I lied to him about how much I drank. Fucking cut that shit way in half, because who wants to admit you're driving halfway across town? Oh no, I don't drink at home, sir, but I only have like 8 drinks when I'm out at night. So you lied to him, and I still had the big alcohol abuse clause in my fucking file.
Yeah, it's like, do you drink? You mean on the way here?
You mean, how many shots are we talking? Like,
hey, let's paint a picture. Let's back up a little bit. What was it like? What was it like as little Matty? You know what? Do you have family in the service? What were your influences?
Little Matty grew up in small town America on the Mississippi River with some amazing grandparents.
That's cool.
My grandpa thought the world of me. On my dad's side, we were on the river with them every weekend in the houseboats, fishing. Learned how to water ski behind a flat bottom boat when I was like 7 years old. Learned quick to let go of the fucking rope.
Right.
Because grandpa would just keep dragging you. Yeah, pretty normal life. My parents were together from the time I was born till my dad passed away. Picked on in school because I was always different, outcast, same shit my kids going through, small town mentality. I didn't play football. I didn't have the last name that was cool or had money or was the mayor's son or grandson, and the hoity-toity ass clowns. You know, I was smoking cigarettes at probably 12 or 13 years old. I know I smoked my first joint at 11 years old, about 400 yards from the dispensary I'm currently laid off from. I love that when people come in there.
When you first smoked the weed, what was that like at 11? I was 12, by the way, but 11.
It wasn't immediate love, but I got more effects than either one of the other two people I was with, for sure. Because neither one of those two, well, my friend Dickie could have used it, and I wish he would have gotten sick later in life, or I wish I would have had the knowledge I have now, because he died of brain cancer, pretty aggressive, and I've helped I helped a brother that doesn't talk to me anymore because his wife's to see you next Tuesday, and I don't get to be a part of his life anymore. And I've known him since I was like 7, but I helped him shrink a brain tumor. And then my brother-in-law, I helped him. My sister found a way for him to use cannabis rectally to cure himself of the same cancer that my dad passed away from. But back to little Matty, all 4 of my grandparents passed away from different types of cancer. Then my dad, I lost him to probably about 12 years ago. So I have a fucking hatred for cancer, just despise it. The more things I find out about that cause it or influence it or help it, the more I want to change my own life and help others change their life, because these routines we have of, I'm just going to have 4 or 5 beers or 6 beers, or I can't sleep unless I have them, or I can't wind down, or mommy needs the wine in moderation. Those things are all good. And I'm nobody to talk about moderation with cannabis, because holy shit, I just showed my friends that I can smoke a shit ton of weed and function like big fucking
Watch
time.
this. Hold my dude.
Dude, I bought like 2 grams of rosin, a disposable to suck on while you're out in town, and ate the weed, some pre-rolls. I went through all of them in like 5.5 days, pretty much by myself. But I smoke 4 or 5 joints a day at home as it is. And I know what they do for me, and I know what they don't do for me.
Right.
And there's a huge difference between medicating and not being the alcoholic I was. I'm an angry enough person as it is. I don't need alcohol to do that.
Yeah.
And like you're finding out, man, my attention deficit, squirrel, is off the fucking charts when I'm sober. So
yeah,
I can't imagine what I'd be like if I was drinking all the time at home.
I was never a mean drunk. I'm always the hugger. I'm one of them guys,
Tequila and Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels will make me angry and puke. Tequila makes me break out in handcuffs every time.
with only 1 sock and no shoes on and shit.
Oh, so you were in Japan with me, bro? You know
Who
that
was?
story? 1 sock and 1 shoe.
Oh, God, you got
one.
Nice.
I got one of those stories too.
Yeah.
I want to do a drunk stories with Matty around the world series.
So let's kind of recap a little bit. So your childhood was, there was some love, there was some discipline. It was the 80s.
80s, yeah, I graduated in 91.
Yeah, so you were born in the 70s. I was born in the 60s. The parents were still about the same back then. Total assholes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you.
I wasn't. So I got a picture.
Street lights. See when the street lights come on, go away.
Yeah, I got a picture back there of my dad and me hugging in boot camp after I graduated from boot camp, and it's fucking awkward looking. It's weird.
Yeah,
and there's, those pictures were taken with a regular camera, so they're not as fast. But there's a picture right before it that like, it's like, what are you doing kind of picture. I don't recall my dad telling me specifically that he loved me before I graduated from boot camp. Not that I ever felt unloved from him. It wasn't who he was then. And when she had grandkids and I went in the Navy, life just kind of changed for him. up
Yeah, he got
there.
more expressive of his feelings.
He couldn't stop telling you that he loved you.
Nice, that's
Everybody
great.
like you, he's a hugger too. And
Yeah.
and the years of that fucker trying to cover cigarette smell with cologne, all these people that knew him from these church groups and all these wonderful things. My dad helped a lot of people in the groups that he was in. He was in some Christian therapy groups and things like that. And they were great in their faith. He was great in his faith. And I hear from people all the time, man, your dad gave the greatest hugs. And then I smelled him for like 5 hours later because he would put on a bunch of cologne to cover up the cigarette smell.
Yeah. I don't smell like Old Spice. I smell like Old Spice in an ashtray.
Yeah, he couldn't. Oh, God forbid anybody knew that he smoked that didn't. Oh, fuck no. He would hide that so much, bro. He was like an alcoholic with cigarettes. Like he would smoke at work and then, but if the grandkids knew, he would have been devastated. If his great grandkids would have known that he was smoking, oh my God, he would have it would have been death.
Yeah. Well, I can remember the first time my parents allowed me to smoke in front of them.
Oh,
I
God,
served
no.
a lot of time in my room for stealing their smokes, and then all of a sudden I'm allowed because I'm 17.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going into senior year. You know, is this a trick? You know, what the fuck's going on here?
So I came home one time. Like we never got in trouble for drinking. But in high school I didn't drink and drive and come home. Like I didn't. And I didn't get in trouble for it. So either way, we were out one night and we had a bunch of beer left. And my friend's like, what are we going to do with it? Oh, I don't know. I'll take it home, put it in my fridge. Really? Yeah, I get it. Just tell my parents it's mine. They're not going to give a shit. I wasn't driving. Somebody brought me home safe. Like fucking, it's like 10 o'clock at night. Big deal. So like 2 weeks later, we were out cruising around and we heard about a party. And I said, let's go back home. I still got about a little over a 12 pack at home in the fridge. I'll go grab. So our house was bi-level. On the front, the garage going down to the garage, the driveway down to the garage was the basement. And then the main floor was upstairs into the living room. And I came home and told them I was going to grab that bunch of beer. And then now this is the 80s. There's no way this would happen now. And I don't know if my mom would admit to it. But I got like halfway down the steps and my dad hollers out, hey, there's some old style or some shit in there that's been in there too long. If you think your friends want it, go ahead and grab it. Yeah. And then the other one piped in and said, you see any bottles down there that you like? Grab those too.
How old were you?
17, maybe 18. Like
home is safe drinking as a kid. I mean,
we weren't drinking at home.
Promoting this, okay, but
I was taking that shit somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not promoting it at all.
Yeah,
I was taking that shit, and it was just a different age and time back then.
Different way of thinking, different mindset back then.
Yeah, and I didn't have the drinking bug like I did later once I couldn't smoke, because I smoked weed all through high school. Probably didn't help with my grades, but I didn't have the motivation.
So it was never a daily thing in high school, never a daily thing when you just got out of high school, but after you got
it was a few days a week thing in high school. Yeah, for sure. When I had it, I could. When I could sneak away, because I used cigarettes that whole time to cover up the smell of weed. I would smoke.
You were getting after it, man, in high school.
Well, shit, around here, bro, I could walk into a place with a cigarette machine in the lobby of the bar and not even have to go into the bar. Just plunk $1.25 in quarters in the machine and pull a fucking lever and walk out the door, man. The 80s were just different. And
my folks could write a note to the manager of this corner store, and I could walk up to it 11 years old and buy smokes from my parents.
State Line Market by Wisconsin.
Hey, so listen, we're about halfway in. We've talked about the childhood, things that went on in your life.
Yeah.
And got a good glimpse of it. Well, we get back from break. Let's talk about the service, the marriages, I know we talked about the constant failing at things and building up on you and things getting worse. And let's get into all of that so that our brothers and sisters can see the relate part where we all have shit in our lives. So let's take a quick break. We'll get after that when we get back. All right, let's help some vets.
American made, better known, we are Doc Goodbeard. It's more than just looking good. When it comes to your beard, we believe you can have it all. Thoughtfully designed, unique fragrances, and affordable prices. We strive to provide a line of uniquely scented balms and oils that you won't find in other products. Come on, rock with Doc, and remember, it's all about the beard, man. So what do you say? Let's take that average beard and make it badass. Go to docbeard.com.
Hey y'all, Hot Rod Wally here. Finally, a revolutionary nutrient line that puts the needs of you and your plants first. Easy to use, forgiving, tweakable, versatile, and clean. Utopic Essential Nutrients blends only the most refined raw materials, the perfect blend of plant hormones derived from kelp, along with silica and humates, makes Utopic a powerhouse plant food. From commercial industrial growers down to our beloved hobbyists. Come discover our truth at www.utopicessentialnutrients.com. Come get them. Come get them. It was funny, right between the two commercials, I saw Matty for a second, like taking a big old hit off. It was awesome.
You want me to hide it more on the show, or are you guys good with it on the show?
Well,
I don't know what your rules are.
Well, Joe, no, you can medicate all day.
All right, cool.
Joe and I had a rule that during the show we wouldn't medicate. We smoked before, we smoke after, and
yeah.
And, you know, medicating yourself with cannabis is a personal thing. You know, at the same time, we're in the middle of a conversation, and I think, and this kind of leads into something I wanted to talk about. You know, I've learned over the years that when you talk to your brothers and sisters and you say something, you fucking stick to what you say. So announcing my sobriety on Stick Out with Doc made me have to hold to it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I can't go back on my word. I'm Doc, right?
Nope.
I can't disappoint them, me, my family. You know, failure's not an option. I'm not going to be a drinker. I'm going to be a sober person. Well, on day 90 of my sobriety, I think I'm on, 15 now? On day 90 of my sobriety, these are gone. I can't sit here and preach holistic medicine, herbs and spices, and be healthy and get up and do 2.2 while I'm cacking on these cancer sticks. I'm not being a good example as a doc.
Fuck no.
I feel that. So it has to change. It is going to. So on day 90, you all heard it. Day 90 of sobriety, cigarettes are out of my life.
What are you going to do to replace them? What are you going to do for the
I'm going to walk
habit?
4.4 miles 5 times a day.
You want a cigarette while you're walking, though, fucker.
Dude, I get in the car afterwards. I want a beer. Hey, tell me you're not a drinker when you're driving in your car. There's a trigger to drink.
Well,
okay.
I mean, other people involved in traffic, you know.
Yeah. Where was your bottom? My car being my trigger to grab a beer. It's not funny, you know, but honesty.
Man, if we don't laugh,
honesty is
we
fun.
don't get through it, right?
Yeah. So cigarettes gonna be gone. Yeah.
Good for you.
My wife and I, she has so many disabilities. We're gonna start eating better. Joe Glenn is a plethora of knowledge of being better at taking care of yourself, and fungi use. There's a lot of cool things. A lot of cool things coming down because we're all telling the pharmaceutical companies.
Big tobacco, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, big tobacco, big alcohol, absolutely. So you're in the Navy. For those who don't know about IC3, I'll tell you what I do know about IC3. If you ever see a Navy commercial and there's this squid standing in front of this clear board with these in the dark with lights on it, and they're squiggling stuff with a grease pencil, that's an IC3, right? No? Oh, you're the comms.
Yeah, phones. I did phones, alarm and warning, indicators, navigation shit.
Who am I thinking of then? They were considered combat. They were combat guys. They called them combat something. I thought that was what IC men were. Forgive me.
Nope. Radio men, maybe, but not on the ship.
If there's any Navy veterans out there, when we do our live chat and tell me where I was wrong on that one. I need to know.
No, all alarm and warning, navigation equipment, telephones, some like solenoid driven. I did flight aid, visual flight aid stuff. I did one piece of equipment that showed a helicopter where the horizon was as they were trying to land on a small boy. I worked on a bear trap kind of contraption that would catch a cable that would drop down from a helicopter so it could land on the flight deck of a small boy safely as it's rocking and rolling. It would kind of help guide them down. Those were both kind of integrated electro-hydraulic, so they worked with electronics and hydraulic systems on the aircraft
I could have been more wrong.
Yeah.
Of what you did to me.
I worked on a lot of phones and shit like that too.
That's right.
But then married a crazy woman and moved to Michigan after we got out of the Navy. Had a couple of kids. Started having the average problems, but she was a stay-at-home mom that didn't do a damn thing, but watched Lifetime movies and developed a relationship with the deputy sheriff that she later used to accuse me of inappropriately touching my daughter while she was sitting in the same fucking room as me. And I'm not going to apologize my anger for that one. It's taken a lot of years to be able to tell this story without breaking down in tears and hating shit. But it's been 21 years since I've seen my kids. My youngest has gone as far as telling me that he would kill me if I ever talk bad about his mom again, because they've never heard my side of the story ever. And there's people in my own family that have had a relationship with my children over the years that selfishly have never defended my side of the story or the truth. And they still know my children somewhat, but 4 kids I haven't seen in 21 years from that marriage. 2 of them, I don't even know their voices. I don't even know some of their spouses or my grandkids' names. So that divorce alone, before I moved back to the Illinois area, put me in a lot of depression. And if I hadn't had a little bit of weed and a one-hitter with me most of the time, I would have drank myself to death or ran a car off the bridge, or, I sat with a gun. I sat with a bottle of pills a few times. There's nothing worse than not being able to defend yourself, because statistically, I used to know how many veterans get divorced in areas away from their family after they get out of the military and are stuck on their own. They don't have family. They don't have friends around, and these goddamn family court systems just prey on it because they make money off of your back child support. They make money off of enforcing your support. The son of a bitch and judge that presided over my case let my children go without my knowledge and without my permission during an open investigation that hadn't even made it to the county attorney's office yet, because
the sheriff instigated it because he wanted your girl.
He was already fucking her.
Allegedly.
Yeah. No, he was fucking her. He was going to move down to New Mexico with her afterwards. She admitted it to me. I've gone after him. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. And he's an Air Force vet, too. That's right. Officer Franks. Yeah, anyway. He's an Air Force vet who's a piece of crap. And the judge in that county, like 16, 17 years later, during the COVID time, was allowed to retire 3 months early after sexual allegations or allegations of misappropriate conduct came up with some of his coworkers. So I never did get an answer. I heard about that story and I reached out to the newspaper that wrote it. And that reporter would answer me once and only once and would never answer me back again. I was going to go back to court up there. Well, I did go back to court up there one time when that judge was still presiding, and I had owed back support because when you get divorced and you're paying $900 a month in child support and you're making $12.50 an hour, you can't really afford much. But I went back into his courtroom, and when he like didn't throw me in jail, and we had to give him a couple of $1,000s to not throw me in jail. For back child support for kids that I haven't seen that he let leave the state without my knowledge. He looked at me and said, your parenting time isn't my problem. Pay your fucking child support or I'm going to put you in jail. Because I wasn't there for a custody hearing. I was coming there on a bench warrant on my own free cognizant, own free will for a back child support hearing. And that's the way this goddamn place works. So during the COVID time, I talked to a lawyer during the COVID time and I was going to fight it when I was down to less than $5,000 owed after 80 some $1,000 over the years of back child support built up that I was paying off and trying to survive at the time. And I got down to that. And since I didn't let the state know that my kids turned 18 at certain times, they said, oh, well, we got to go back and look and see because you probably own more. And they were going to rack it back up to $44,000. And I fucking screamed at the state of Michigan. And then they dropped it back down to like another 10 grand. So I went from $5,000 to owing 10 grand. And eventually got that paid off and told them to get fucked, but still haven't seen the kids. And when I paid off the final part, I sent a message to my ex-wife that wasn't very nice. And that's when my youngest, my son with her, reached out and told me, I will gut you and string you up and blah, blah, blah.
Matty, two things, Matty. Two things. First one is I've done a lot of bad things and made bad decisions in my life. And if you ever found out and you called me on it, I'd be honest. But to be fucking accused of incestual pedophilia by someone that you thought, and falsely accused from someone you thought loved you, I couldn't imagine that. The anguish that causes. I'm not trying to make it worse on you. I feel, and I reason, and the second episode number 2, the reason I feel that is I've made enough decisions and said enough things to be without my kids periodically for years. 22 years straight of paying my child support though. But when I be honest with them, or I do say something pretty bad about something, 3, 4, 5 years of not hearing from them. Here's what I found. Someday it comes, and you'll get yours. I feel it. Kids become gracious and forgiving when they start fucking up their life a lot, and they're trying to be a good parent and they're fucking that up too. It builds some humility in them. Don't give up on this. That's all I say. Go ahead.
I should have done more. I wish I could have done more. I knew. I wait for the day. I don't have the energy in me to reach out to them because I don't have it in me to be rejected like that anymore. I'm not good with rejection. I'm a strong motherfucker on the outside, and I'm a mean little son of a bitch when you cross me. And I'll be the first one to tell you that. Don't ask me for an honest opinion if you don't want an honest answer, because I'm going to tell you whether you're going to have your feelings hurt or not. And I will give you the choice most of the time, but I don't have it in me anymore to be rejected by them. So if they do ever want to talk to me, it's on them.
Remind me, are they all grown?
Yeah. My son turns 21 this year.
He's your
I
oldest?
believe. My youngest.
Youngest.
My oldest was born in 96, so she'll be 30 next year. She was born when I was in C school in San Diego. She was one of the two that were born at not Miramar, the training center there by San Diego, by the zoo and shit.
Well, you got two choices. One, you pound on their door until they listen to you, or you have the hope like I used to, and it worked. Having the hope that one of them has that moment where they just go, "I need to know."
Where they live
that's the beginning of the spark.
Where they moved to in New Mexico is in the middle of the Gila Forest, kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. I've been there once or twice before. It's a really cool place, but they didn't even have a street light or a stoplight, I mean, in town. The buildings aren't even connected or weren't even connected with sidewalks. It is absolutely rural. My great uncle on my grandfather's side, he lived out that, he worked out that way for the National Forestry Division, and he said if you ever come out here, you absolutely check in with the state police in Albuquerque before you go anywhere down here, because you cross the wrong people that have heard the story from her about what happened and about her story, that you will disappear. You'll be out in these woods and nobody will ever find you. Hills have eyes kind of shit. Right. So that always discouraged me from going down there. And I knew some people that she knew, and just, I tried to go on with life. And that's where my second wife came in. And I fell in love with her daughter. I still call her my stepdaughter. She lives with my son and I right now, but my son's mom and I have been divorced. We've been divorced as long as my dad's been dead. So 10 or 12 years now, but her and I work pretty well together, depending on the current relationship status of who she's sleeping with. But we work pretty well co-parenting with my son. But when I met her, I was in a pretty alcoholic drinking stage then, and was still smoking, but didn't know how much I needed medicinal cannabis more than
you were
alcohol.
Drinking heavy when you met her, or through it, or both?
When I met her, and then it was right back to the married life where I would smoke. But when I met her, and I quit going out to the bars. When we go to friends' houses on the weekends, I would get hammered, make her drive, and she would not want to stay at friends' houses, or make her drive home from the bars, because I would just be fucking wasted, and still smoking. But my depression got to me with her after my son was born for some reason. But she was 21 and I got fixed. She was 21 when we got together, and I got fixed. I didn't want more kids after my son.
How old were you?
Like 33, 34.
That's right. We both married younger girls on our second term.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And I took that one pretty hard too, as well. She had meant the world to me. And I remember telling a boss that, like, she pulled me out of some depression here, more the relationship did, and her daughter, not feeling like I deserved to be a parent after the first divorce, and not dealing with my own depression. I never went to counseling or anything back then. After she left me is when I went to that PTSD counseling and met the Vietnam vet and the female doc. And got a whole different viewpoint of kind of life. And that was about the same time that a friend, Stu, who actually was on my first ship, who I just spent the week with last week, he messaged me and asked me how my VA rating was doing. I was like, bro, I don't got a VA rating. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man. I didn't get blown up. I didn't get shot at, bro. I wasn't combat. Like, man, I'm fucked up, but I don't know. And he told me on the phone one day, he's like, hey, Matty, how many bags of weeds would that get you for just the ringing in your ears? Fuck you, Stu.
What was that? I can't hear you.
Yeah, what's that? As I was telling you guys earlier, I finally as I was sitting with him last week, I sent the message through my VA app, which I'm super good at. fucking asking for my hearing aids. So I'm tired of the ringing, man. Like right now, even with these noise canceling earbuds in this conversation, I still got ringing in my ears. Different tone in each ear, like comes and goes.
Yeah.
Depends on the ear pressure. It sucks, man. So I'm gonna pull the trigger. Fuck it. I want hearing aids.
I definitely have hearing loss from the Navy. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I'm 0% rated for hearing loss. They'll never say, you got to be. They got to rate your ears pretty much, but they'll admit that you got it fucked up, and they won't give you nothing for it.
Oh.
But as long as they acknowledge you have hearing loss, you're still eligible for a free pair of hearing aids. Even not rated, you yourself are eligible for a free eye exam and a free pair of glasses every year.
Brother, I have to admit, the VA up here, when I go get glasses, I go to those places you get 2 for $89. I beat them up so fast, there's no sense of spending any money on them. And I don't want birth control glasses from the military.
Hey, mine ain't that bad, man. I mean, I look like grandpa, but whatever. This shit is free.
Got the
It's
birth control
$400 for a prescription.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Fucking, it was
they treat me like a
$400,
king down there, man. I can't complain at all.
Yeah, the VA has come a long ways in the time that I've been out, man. I know I went to them early on with the first wife, but I didn't have the time. When you're working Monday through Friday, 7:30 in the morning till 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the average vet doesn't have a chance to get there, man. That's why we need a new VFW style holistic center that we're going to talk about too.
I try not to use the VA much because we got brothers and sisters that fucking eat it way worse than us and taking the resources away.
If they're not there, man, it's our responsibility to bring them there, not neglect ourselves by not utilizing it for ourselves. And I want to teach you that over the next couple of weeks, bro. And then before I forget about it, because this is a medicine, but it still makes me attention deficit squirrel. And I will squirrel off on the next project before I finish the first project. That's technically diagnosed by my mother, by the way. The idea about your 2.2 a day and getting more people out to the sick call for doc. Sober doc that reached out to 1 million veterans, you said today?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I did the totals. I'm like, shit.
1 million veterans, right? So I praise you on that. Talking about other veterans that we want to bring into it. The tent that I got for Brandon, I don't know if you saw pictures of that.
He's so fired up, man.
Kyle Wolfman, you are the bro. But we're going to give a shout out to my boy Derek, who does the People's Advertiser. And he's got a cargo like van truck that he has an LED screen on the side of that he does advertising in big cities for. And I don't think there's any podcasts that are really advertising on that. So I'm going to connect y'all together.
He's not a Michigan boy, is he?
One way. Yeah, he's not advertising enough for enough veteran things. So I need to talk to Derek about that. We need to, a nationwide veteran advertising thing. Right?
Yeah.
And getting everybody together along with your 1.1. When you bring it up to 2.2, maybe at each mile stop that you're walking, you could have a suicide awareness thing. Maybe a VFW post would meet you at one place. Maybe a veterinarian place at your next mile where you can talk about how PTSD and a dog, because I know my dogs mean the absolute fucking world to me and have saved me from myself quite a bit, just as much as that grow tent has saved me from myself. Those are two of my biggest therapies. So there's a lot of things that we could work together on, bro, to bring awareness and reach a huge footprint, man. My smoke out greater than 22 a day thing, I wanted to start out by helping other veterans get their medical card in Illinois, but my population is tiny where I live. And there isn't too many veterans in my direct area that want to get a cannabis card because they're all, afraid of losing gun rights and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that we can't teach them the benefits of using it through the recreational loophole and medicating. Because during my time working at a dispensary over the 4 years of my own hometown, the amount of elderly people that I seen coming in there just for edibles completely blew me away. But the amount of veterans that I got in front of my face on a daily basis just it changed my attitude about everything in life. It changed what I wanted to do more with my social media footprint and what I was trying to do with this foundation. I have a new logo that I was trying to mess with to put in my background, but I want to incorporate more of an Airbnb style. I have dreams of doing a VFW where I can have people here at my own house and a fire pit in the back where we can sit around and talk and learn together, whether it's old veterans that I served with or new veterans that want to find a new place. There's VFWs and American Legions that are out of touch and out of place with younger generations, and even in somewhat of our generation doesn't want to be there. The smoking veterans, the holistic veterans, the healing from alcohol veterans aren't comfortable in the piss-stained, smoke-stained, stinky, stagnant, clicky VFW or American Legion. We want to chill out and hang out. We want to be able to connect the civilians like I did in my grow group, where like Kyle Wolfman helped out Brandon Creed with a grow tent. That Kyle lives 7.5 hours away from me. And just from a cannabis community and bullshitting with him, that guy saw me setting up my tent and said, "Hey, bro, I got an old tent that I don't need and lights and a setup. If you want it, come get it." And I'm like, "Kyle, man, I can't drive 7.5 hours and I don't need a tent. I'm addicted to grow equipment like my friends are addicted to motorcycle parts and shit, man." Like,
yeah,
I was fiending not having my 9-foot tent up. And dude, I don't need another big tent. But I told him when he first told it to me, and Kyle's a civilian, I'm like, let me think about it. I know some people, and that's when I first connected with you guys. I'm like, I know some people in Michigan that are veterans and like might be close to you, and give me some
Kyle's
time
here,
to think about it. Yeah. And Brandon was talking to me while I was setting up my grow tent and venting it out my house. And that's when Brandon mentioned, and Brandon's been a huge supporter of my thing and never really known what I've done, just like kept pointing me towards you. And Brandon told me he had a house fire and lost his grow equipment and wishes he could do it. And I was like, "Oh, no way, man. Like I got you." And like, I thought Kyle would just want him to come down there. Kyle Wolfman, he drove 3 hours away, got some genetics from Big Earl, took Brandon some clones, gave him a huge tent and 2 lights, set it up, showed his wife how to make rosin. And when I thanked that man, that dude that said he just wanted to do something for another veteran with that grow equipment, you know what his first response was? Kyle's first damn response was like, I wrote him a paragraph, bro. You're the man, dude. That is so cool. I appreciate that. Like, fucking A. And he wrote back, "I can't wait to see what he harvests."
The medicine he creates.
Dude, Kyle, come on. The humility from that it made me cry. Like, your fucking opening song makes me cry, dude. Like,
it blows me out.
That's what I want to make greater than 22. I don't want to just do, it's not just about getting a medical card for somebody. It's about teaching other veterans, like I taught my brothers from the independents, how to medicate, how to sleep at night, which balms would work for what, a tincture that might help with those muscle spasms. You smoke this strain if you just want to be not an asshole. Smoke this strain, you want to get a little bit giggly, man. A couple of puffs, start with 5 milligrams, try a little bit of CBD incorporated, and please don't be afraid of CBD.
That shit works. Living proof.
Oh, absolutely, bro. There's a company near me, the Gen O Farms, that's going to come out with a CBD balm that I'm super excited for. They've got some pretty good statistics on how great of a numbing capability it's got, and legitimate testing that proves the quality of how well it works. I was a fan of a balm that I found that was like 15 to 1700 milligrams CBD, CBG, CBN. And that got my nerd brain thinking about having something in a THCA or a CBDA where you don't want it decarboxylated because you're not looking for the euphoria. I'm looking for on the skin. I want transdermal. So if it's already in the acidic form and I haven't decarboxylated it, I haven't pushed it through another process, it's going to work so much better.
Yeah. For those, I'm glad you brought this up. For those that do drink and want to quit, I found something. I bought my wife some edibles. They were RSO gummies, they called them. And they had 20 milligrams of THC, 20 of everything. THC, CBD, CBN, and CBG. And she took one, comaed her. She never used them again. And so I was feeling like I wanted to fucking kill somebody or drink a beer. And I said, baby, you got those edibles still? I need something to take the edge off, man. And she said, oh, yeah, go grab them. So I took those little tiny squares. I cut them into 4. So it's 5, 5, 5, and 5 of everything.
Yeah. 5's great.
Every 4 hours, boom, like a Motrin, baby. And it kept me just... I was
low and slow.
Not only was I not kind of withdrawing, I was functioning and getting shit done.
Yeah,
all from
low and slow.
From that. I want to get the same thing. I ran out, and I'm already 15 days in. I'm doing pretty good. But if I were to do it again, I would get the one that's good for sleep out of it.
Yeah, CBN. Take the CBN out. Yeah.
Calm me down, chill me out, and let me function. But I can't.
That can be.
I can't drool.
Yeah, that can be good for nerve pains and stuff like that. CBN can in bigger quantities. And it can also be mind stimulating in bigger quantities. So at 5 milligrams, you're like really lulling yourself with that CBN. I love CBD and CBG together. CBG is like an all-encompassing cannabinoid. And you'll get that 5 milligrams of THC in there to like literally numb the nervous system a bit. So you're going to calm down the pain with that. Then that 5 milligrams of CBD is going to bring down any inflammation around those painful sites. So that's a great combination.
And I'm going to use it for quitting smoking. I'm not using Chantix or the patch or none of that shit.
A toothpick or chew on your lighter.
Yeah.
I just talked to a woman recently that I met a couple weekends ago. And she was, we had a pretty good smoke session talking about life. And she's I think 15 or 16 year recovered alcoholic, went through some really bad physical and emotional trauma and a domestic abuse with a husband, and alcoholism to the point of like withdrawals after 2 or 3 days, and would drink on the no drinking medicine. And she said one night she finally had a mental breakdown, and they had a huge amount of mushrooms. I don't remember exactly which strain, nothing really uncommon, but she got mad at the ex-husband, I believe it was how it went, or the boyfriend at the time, and took all of the mushrooms instead of just a few. And it was only like her second or third time ever tripping. And that is what she attests to, a macro dose of mushrooms to cure her from alcoholism. And
it resets you, brother.
Yep. From that trip on, she said she's never drank again.
I'm kind of afraid to try that, bro.
I want to do ayahuasca. I'm with that Heroic Heroes group, and I signed up with them. I got to get my this week, now that I'm back from Maine, I got a whole bunch of shit to do with getting my foundation going better, starting my Airbnb and getting into that VFW that is supposed to be all holistic and nationwide. The one out of Missouri, I want to get with them and figure out what they're all about. Try and bring that to my homestead kind of business. But I need to get my passport through that Heroic Heroes because they have a thing where you can sign up for ayahuasca down in like South America. And that's the one that you want to be afraid of, like macro dosing on some penis envy or something, like a regular mushroom you can get from Balanced Veterans Network. Those guys teach a lot about stuff. Macro dosing through that could be one thing, but the ayahuasca is where you literally throw up somewhat and kind of shit yourself. They make you put on the diapers. But I've talked to a few veterans and some combat vets that have had some amazing results from it.
They swear by that. That saved their life.
It might cure you of all the penises you had to hold and see.
That doesn't bother me much.
You said you were pretty used to it.
Yeah. How many guys can say that?
I had to lighten the mood a little bit.
Let me tell you what. I got a beer at the bar from each of those guys I took care of.
I
All
bet.
right,
Bro.
so it pays to be Doc.
Fucking
You know?
awesome.
Yeah, man, amazing, bro. We see it every time we talk to every time I talk to a veteran I don't know. The cannabis, the micro the micro dosing with the psilocybin,
Yeah.
the camaraderie of the cannabis world and the holistic world, the camaraderie that's in there, and then having the vet camaraderie. That's got to save lives.
The
We
auxiliary,
lose that
bro.
camaraderie, we lose the mission,
Yeah.
we lose our purpose. We get out. We don't know what the fuck to do.
My grandfather and my grandmother on my dad's side started a American Legion and American Legion Auxiliary in Scales Mountain, Illinois, when he came back from his time in the service. The first cannabis shop that opened in our town and in this side of the state, this corner of the state, was literally 400 or 500 yards away from the house that I grew up in as a kid. I have a huge, now that my life has kind of changed past and I'm more independent on my own with my VA knowledge and some resources and utilizing benefits available to me, I have a huge drive to try and open a new kind of VFW style thing, especially with the heritage that I came from.
Yeah, we got a spot up here in Flint. It's for, I don't know the whole name, but I call it Flint Social Club. And you become a member. It's cheap. It's not a lot of money to become a member. It's an old bar, all glassed out, and it's full of product. And you go, there's tables and chairs, pool tables, dartboards, everything. And it's
Nice.
it's like a club kind of thing. And you can be a part of the club, and you can go there date night with your old lady. I mean, like they have food and stuff. I mean,
yeah, we have a freedom center
chew
here.
down, whatever. Yeah,
we have a freedom center here that collects the recyclable cans and stuff on the Iowa side. But they're only open till about 3:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and I think a little bit on Saturday. The average working person can't get in there during those times. You can't. It's just not feasible. Not for us younger vets, not for somebody that's single dad that's being beat down in life because they got to work 2 jobs or something like that. They don't find the resources because they don't want to go sit in the bar, but they don't have around here. That's all we have, dude. They have a concession stand that serves beer at the Independent Girls Softball League here that opens at 10 o'clock in the morning. They serve fucking beer.
You'd have found me standing right by that fucking.
Oh, me too. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but to try to get away from that mentality in my area is hard. And as a veteran who has issues with going out in public, with trusting people, with getting along with civilians, man, I've been out 30 some years. I haven't held a job. Well, I've been out since 2000. I haven't held a job more than 4 years consecutively since I've been out. Not more
Probably
than
your bad attitude, bro.
It is. It's my fucking terrible attitude after a while.
No,
People can't
you're
handle
not,
it when
man.
you tell them you're an idiot.
You know, thinking on this whole thing, so many thoughts come to my mind. Look, think about this. The stuff going on with the kids and divorces and some bad decisions, some made for you. It's paralyzing. It could be paralyzing to somebody. My first divorce was paralyzing to me.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And through your determination and not losing hope and finding your way with with your holistic medical approach to you, keeping you here, is doing more than that. That stuff's doing more than that. All of that is accumulating you to now go way past what you ever thought you'd ever fucking do.
Yeah.
It just as easily been a statistic. Just as easy. Because of cannabis and psilocybin has given you a new light to shine. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth.
Everybody needs some.
Be proud of yourself, bro.
I
You
appreciate
could have
that.
taken the easy way out.
You as well, man.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the future, man. I got a bunch of stuff written down here. So tell me who these people are, or these are your stuff. Balanced Veterans Network. Who's that?
That's a group started some years ago. They're nationwide now. They're big into the cannabis community. They teach about holistic healing through psilocybin and through cannabis. They will help you get a $50 towards your medical card, no matter what state you enter in. Even if as long as you're a veteran, are comfortable with sending them your proof of veteran status. They have a huge network. There's a guy near me named CJ Cowgill. He does a weekly podcast. Balanced Vet. I think it's just Balanced Veterans Network now. It used to be Bullside Chat with CJ. Very great guy. He's got a couple of great strains. He brags about his Sunday driver. I've just never taken the time to make it over to him in that part of the state. Huge disc golfer. My apologies for not, I was trying to do my own thing. At the time, it felt like competition because they did a lot of just in the beginning doing the veterans cannabis card. But now they've got they got things going on across the nation. They've been in Washington, D.C. They just went to Washington, D.C. for the National Cannabis Convention like last month. I just wasn't up to the drive down there because they drove down there, and that long of a drive whoops my ass. Great group of guys, though.
That's
doing
that's the Balanced Veterans Network.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another one. Weedman 420 Chronicles, Big Earl. What's up with that?
That's my bro.
Is that connected?
Yeah. Weedman 420. Boot out of Chicago. He does a podcast with his wife Susan on YouTube. They're on Spotify as well. It's a weekly show, hour long, and then he's got another show called the Grow Hour with Big Earl. Big Earl is part of that Grow group that Weedman put me in a private chat group on Instagram. So that's how I know Big Earl and Wolfman, who Wolfman and Big Earl gave the Grow tent to Brandon. So I ran across Weedman 420 probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I've been a big supporter of that show since then. I love their whole platform. They're a couple. You can hear how they relate in their relationship over the hour, how they talk with each other. They read articles about cannabis. They talk about life. I've been to a couple of consumption events in that side of Illinois over by the Chicago area and met them. Just amazing people in the cannabis community. And I've learned a shit ton from listening to their show. When I was in the heating and cooling industry, I wouldn't listen to music. I'd throw my headphones in and go to work on something with a podcast going for like an hour and learn about shit.
Right on.
The Stoned Vet was one of the first people I learned from too a few years back. I ran across him on YouTube as well. Juan Garcia. Love him. He inspired the greater than 22 thing and kind of pushed me towards my t-shirt makers with really designs. Those are some great veteran companies as well that I've worked at throughout the little bit of time I've been doing shit.
Right on. So what's next for you? What's the next big thing for you, your goal?
Next big thing is to realize the property that I have here and the healing things that it's done for me and how I can help other people with that. I took a little bit of a layoff from the dispensary I was working at that has taught me so much over the 4 years that I was there, through the training, the online courses, whether it be, a cannabis company or learning about cannabis. I learned a shit ton from that. But that time there, I looked at that recreational shop because it was the first place in the tri-state area. Like I have Wisconsin right above me. I have Iowa next to me, and neither one of them have really anything decent for cannabis or even CBD. So I had people coming as far as from like Minnesota as well, 4 hours away on every other week basis, teaching me that I knew more about teaching people about cannabis than I ever could imagine. Every person that I felt walked into that recreational shop was a medical customer in my opinion, and as a medical customer, because whether you're 85 or you're 25 and you're trying to calm down those achy old joints to fall asleep at night, or you want to smoke just a couple of hits to forget about that asshole boss that's been up your butt all day while you're washing dishes and trying to bust your balls to get by to pay the fucking bills that don't quit mounting up, man, you're medicating. Either you're calming your mind or you're calming your body, you're medicating. And I can't do enough to teach that. So to be able to set something up here with an Airbnb where people can just come and join my view and be able to consume some cannabis in a private setting. I'm going to have a fence up around this trailer that I'm trying to remodel. My garage will be open as a community space. I'm trying to get that closed up and cleaned up and heated a little bit more so you could walk from the camper into the garage area and have a common space. And I want to set up private lessons for people and donate private time to other veterans like I just did with my two friends. I want to have a spot for my friend in Georgia who was on the Shiloh with me, or my buddy who was on the Shiloh with me that's up in Colorado that does music, that plays music, that's in a great band whose hands ache like fucking crazy. And I want to teach him about how his hands can feel better doing things with cannabis and still be able to play music and have a spot right here at my house, you know. I want to introduce other veterans to it, whether it's a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing around the fire pit. I want to build my
like
brand.
The Pied Piper of weed. You just blow your horn and everybody, you bring them in and teach them, man.
I got told in my drinking days by a couple, like one guy that really stuck out in my head. He's like, man, I would pay you and your friends to come fucking hang out with me. Oh, that's the pictures of Brandon's clones going. That's Big Earl's weed right there, bro.
So to talk on this, that's the weed tent that Kyle drove to him, helped set him up, get him all ready to go, brought some clones or seeds, and now Brandon's growing weed in the house, you know, in his house now.
No, it's in his barn, but they've got it all heated. And man, they went so far as they built a platform with plywood and pallets and stuff like that. He's got, I think it's like a 9-foot tent. Looks like he's got 2 4x4 lights up in there. No, it's 4x8, man, with state-of-the-art lighting. Like, this was just some shit that Kyle had sitting in his closet through 2 completely different conversations of 2 people that I have personally never met in life that have a common goal, a common love for something that has done so much for them through wanting to help another veteran, and just Brandon believing in me more than I saw with what I was doing. And I can't wait to incorporate my next symbols and things like that to support what Brandon's done. That totally changed my mind on what I wanted to do, from cannabis cards to an entire cannabis community of helping other people. That totally showed me that there's a need for an auxiliary community, you know, like,
look at that.
Yeah, that's my auxiliary community. That's Wolfman. That's the first one of the greater than 22 auxiliary, bro.
He's a Michigan boy. That's great.
Yeah, it's like Brandon looks so thrilled.
Yeah. Mystery motion.
But that's some quality equipment, man, and some straight up like genetics. He didn't just bring him a grow tent. He just didn't give him the ability to start growing again, man. He kickstarted him. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Teaching his wife how to make rosin.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Building a platform for the
Holy
base
God, I
of the
didn't
tent.
see this yet, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. They went. He drove 3 hours to go up there to spend the whole day with him. The last picture, he was sitting there showing his wife how to make rosin, or how he would do rosin. So Kyle, the only thing Kyle smokes is his own homemade hash rosin.
And he's a civilian, right?
Yeah, Kyle's also a civilian. I forgot what he does during the day, but yeah, he's got a regular job. That's Wolfman, or Big Earl's clones. That Wolfman stopped by Big Earl's house, and Big Earl's got his own seeds, his own genetic line, everything. And him and Boot talk every week about how they grow and what they do. And they just threw it in there. Like, I thought I hooked Kyle and Brandon up. I'm like, hey, man, here's his phone number. Here's his phone number. You guys talk, but please let me know, like what happens. I want to hear about this and see it. And the next thing I know, Kyle's like, hey, check it out. I'm going to fucking grab some genetics from Big Earl. Not only am I going to do that, I'm going to grab some clones and I'm going to take it up there. And Who does that, man?
I've got huge respect for you, man, for that, because you set it all. You kind of put the thing in motion, and then
I just
everything
saw
else
a
took
couple
off.
of bros talk about shit, talk
Yeah, it
about
was just
life. And
accidental, kind of. But
that's
the
E4
thing,
Mafia, bro. That's how we get shit done.
we walk shit up the chain of command. We don't put
Yeah.
in paperwork.
I don't walk it up the chain of command. I take it to the fucking top. Be like, hey, bro,
Right.
here's what I did.
Yeah, well,
we
the
gotta
thing
fix
is
it.
that when it comes to Brandon Creed, it couldn't happen to a nicer battle buddy.
Exactly, bro. You told me you lost your shit in fire equipment. Are you kidding? You've been
He was
supporting
bummed,
me.
man. He was bummed.
Yeah, and I could feel it. And not the few times we talked quite a bit, but I'd never heard that. And his was the second podcast of yours his was the third one, because I watched one with, I think it was Mark Antis or
Rick Anstis, he's from Michigan.
Rick Anstis. That was the first one I watched one day, and then I'm like, holy shit, this guy's cool as hell. I gotta
Very
watch where
active guy
Doc's
in
come
Michigan.
from.
Very active guy.
No, I meant you too. Like, I had to watch your first podcast before I watched any more.
Oh,
of it,
yeah.
because I want to know who Doc was. I want to know who the hosts of the show were. And then I watched Brandon's and was totally touched, and have a ton of ideas that I want to do with my VFW thing and shit like that. And he was super supportive of me, and just kind of that instant connection. You start messaging somebody and talking to somebody, and while I was setting my grow tent up and giving myself heat stroke by standing on a roof trying to vent it out a window and shit, and bragging to these guys, hey, look what I'm doing with my grow tent. Yeah, fucking,
As you build what you're doing. So two things. One, as you're building what you're doing, if you've got anything that you can send to Brian or me, and I get it to Brian to help promote what you're doing, here's a place to do it. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever we can do to help you.
You're not going to be able to push me away very soon, bro.
Right. Second thing is, you get a call out of nowhere. It's a veteran you don't know. Fucking having a bad fucking day. What do you want your fellow brothers and sisters to know if they're in a bad place? What would you say to them? What would you tell them?
Find that one person you can trust. Everybody has one person. There's always somebody that you can talk to. You have to talk to. No matter how much it hurts in here to get it out, it hurts in here to keep it longer. And learning that the hard way has put me in a lot of hard spots. There's always hope.
Well, it brings me to the tough love that Doc needs to make sure he gets out there and hold our fellow brothers and sisters' feet to the fire. You can't just sit there and take it. You got to reach out. You got to meet us halfway. There's all kinds of shit out here for all of us, for veterans.
Oh, I've learned so many things from listening to so many different podcasts and different veterans things, the veteran entities out there that are trying to make a difference too. Like there's an app where you can connect with people and you can choose who you want to talk to when you're feeling suicidal or anxious, or you're just so in that spot that you need somebody to talk to. I heard about it on 420 Chief, and I forget the platform of the app, but you can go in there and select male, female, Army veteran, Navy veteran, and you can connect with somebody live, like a phone number, like an 800 number that is just solely manned by like veterans or auxiliary related kind of veterans.
So it's not like a dating site, not like that, but it's where you can like uniquely pick somebody that kind of fits your.
Yeah, it's a mental health awareness site that
well, that would work.
Has an app where you can volunteer for it too, a couple hours a day.
You know the name of this app?
I'd have to look it up and I'll send it to you later. Okay. It was one of the, so when I was trying to find your stuff on Spotify, I believe it was, because I was trying to find some of your newer stuff on Spotify, and I ran across this episode on 420 Chief. where they were talking about that app, so I can look it up too.
Well, that'd be great.
I like to put things on Spotify versus YouTube, because on YouTube you can't play it through a radio on the background or into my headphones unless you leave the screen running. So
Right.
if I can just turn Spotify on my phone or on my Milwaukee radio and get shit going, that's how I'm used to working in the trades and the industries. You know, if I'm working by myself, hammering something out, I either put it in my headphones or I put a podcast, and I just seem to work better when I'm absorbing information in the background and listening to something that is informative to me, interesting to me, but I can still concentrate on what I'm trying to work on when I'm working with my hands. If I'm trying to do shit with a computer, no, I got to have music. I can't squirrel off that much.
Yeah. Matty, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having the
appreciate your
patience. I
time.
know it's been a while since we talked. You know how many years
No.
ago that was for me?
Yeah, you're a busy mofo, bro.
Yeah.
I can't believe your garden. Like your garden alone makes me
Marine Corps,
tired.
right? I mean, like I wasn't even close today, dude.
Just your garden alone makes me tired, bro. Besides all the walking you're gonna start doing.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're gonna build that 2.2 for 22. We're gonna build that into something big, and
Absolutely.
I'll take all the help I can get, to be honest with you. So for all of our listeners out there, I'm gonna say it one more time. There's lots of help out there, but you have to do your part, and that is to meet halfway. If you're in trouble, man, we're here. We're out here. There's people out here, man. You won't get turned away. You're not a number with Sicko and Doc. You're not a number like we were in the military. You're a fucking human being, and you're one of our battle buddies. You're your brother or you're a sister to us. So
I don't
you
care
gotta
if you're
reach
even a
out.
civilian and you're having a hard time. I'll talk you through it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody. So again, I want to thank all of our listeners for all their support. Thanks for showing up, spending your time with us. We hope that we're going to bring something of value to you that will keep you hanging around with us. I tell people all the time, you got to stick around. I'm going to retire soon. I need places to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. Start doing traveling, sick call with Doc.
Yeah. Never lose hope. So, Matty, thanks again for coming on. Stay with us. We're going to shut it all down and we'll talk. And Brian, brother, thanks for hanging. And to Joe and Lori Glenn, thank you so much for doing the group. And lots more coming from Joe Misfit Glenn. Can't wait for you guys to get more education from him, man. It's going to be awesome. So till next time, yo, be good.
Be good to you.
Will do.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.